So here we have Affinity Designer, which is my main go-to for designing logos and most of my graphics. I started learning this in 2021, I think. I basically downloaded this as an alternative to having to pay out for Illustrator. Even though I had Adobe Photography Plan, I didn't really want to spend out extra for Adobe Illustrator. So I knew that the Affinity products were about, so I just decided to download Affinity Designer, and I actually prefer this to Illustrator. I find it so much more easier to use. It just seems to flow better compared to Illustrator. I have used CorelDRAW as well, but in terms of usage of that as well, I just found that's the worst of the bunch. That is, it's just not worth the hassle. I had to use that at work, my old work, and I just found it dreadful. And there's other people I've spoken to who found that dreadful as well. But yeah, let's just do a little bit basic bit of text. So here we go. Just hello. I can change the font. I have got some fonts on here that I've downloaded from Google Fonts, which I recommend if you want free fonts. Yeah, hello. Let's put a gradient on that. Let's change the colour on that. Should we go blue? And then should we go maybe... What should we go with? Yellow? Let's go with yellow. I have got things going on off screen. On another screen I've got some other panels such as my layers, quick effects, styles, which I don't use. I've got my history, stock, which I'm going to grab a stock picture and put that in behind here. So what should we look for? Shall we look for a beach? And you can literally just click and drag that in. Personally, when it comes to doing stuff like this, I do prefer let's just center that in a little bit. I'm not going to go for something really precise here. Let's crop that in a little bit. I'm not going to do anything like too in depth here. It's just while but yeah, basically I know I've got the bleed on here, so that's why I've just aligned that like that. That's what that lilac-y purpley line is for. But yeah, I'm just going to show it as that. But let's just duplicate that, which is Control J, and let's grab the one below that and just convert that to black colour. Went the wrong way. And I'm just going to move that down slightly with the arrow keys. If I've got it selected, that would be handy, just to make a little shadow. Nice looking boat there. I do like a boat. I am going to go over a bit of software that I use for tracking ships when I go on holiday at some point. But yeah, this is my main bit of software I use for my design work. I do, like I said, I do logos. I do like my social media graphics in here. I do have Photoshop, but I tend to just, to make life easier, I just go in here. But if I'm editing photos, I tend to use Lightroom and Photoshop. Whereas this, I just use this mostly for general graphics that I use. But yeah, here we go. This is Affinity Designer. It is, you do have to purchase Affinity Designer, but I highly recommend it. If you're looking for good alternatives to like Adobe software, I highly recommend the Affinity suite, such as Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo and Affinity Publisher. I have got all three of them and they're real worth the money. I highly recommend it. And if you want to learn a little bit of graphic design, use Udemy. I highly recommend that as well. It's, if you go on there, sign up to it, put the courses you want, if they're not on offer, if they're like 60 quid or something, 50-60 quid, put them in a wish list and then check it periodically, and you'll get them to come down on offer at some point, and you might get pick them up for £13 and you'll save money. So I highly recommend Udemy as well if you're looking at getting into graphics design or something, or anything in general that they can do. They do like other software as well, but might get into that into another video, Udemy, because I highly recommend that as a website as well. That's one of my go-to websites for learning things. But here we go, this is Affinity Designer. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.